And let's go straight right now to Westminster, where the farmers are yet again protesting ahead of PMQs at midday about what was announced in the budget regarding their being affected by inheritance tax, the first time. Big threat to the handing down of family farms in this country and the future of our local British produce on our supermarket shelves and on our tables. Let's talk to Gareth Wyn Jones. He's a farmer, and among many there descending on Westminster this time round, Gareth, many have brought their tractors, haven't they? So there's no way that MPs can't notice you there.
Yeah, Borada from a fantastic site here with so many tractors. People have come from all corners of the country to show their frustrations against, you know, this government, who are really putting a lot of pressure on us as an industry. We want to feed the nation in a sustainable, affordable way, and every corner we're turning, this government is putting more problems for us. And the inheritance tax was the final nail in the agricultural coffin, and they need to look at it and they need to change it ASAP. Yeah. And that's coming because look around you here in London. I have never, ever seen so many tractors in one place. I was in tears coming off that tube looking at these people. Yeah. This is their future. This is the future of their children, feeding the nation. Don't forget that. We are an intricate part of everybody's life every day. Not once, but twice, but 3 times a day. It's the farmers that are feeding you. And these people, these numpties that are down here living in their ivory towers, put in rules and regulations, sucking the money out of the countryside. It's absolutely disgusting, and it needs to change.
Well, this is it. It's not just been the inheritance tax, has it been? As you say, that was the last straw to break the camel's back. Still massive disputes between the government and many other people and organisations and farmers' representatives about how many families are going to be impacted by this new rule. And a lot of people are saying, well, you know, you're lucky you weren't covered by inheritance tax before, and you're facing a lower rate than everyone else's businesses. But farming is very different from passing on a factory or a local corner store that's been in the family. Farming is a long-term skill. Tell us why it matters.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you an example. Okay, my father's 88. He's worked every single day of his life. He's only ever been ill once and had a new knee. That's all he's ever taken out of the NHS. Nothing else. And he's given in. He's paid taxes all his life. And he was thinking he was handing that farm down to me. I've worked. You know, we didn't have a week's holiday for 16 years. Yeah. We stayed at home. We invested everything into our farm, into our machinery, into innovation. For you to have affordable food. Yeah. That's what this government's forgotten. That's what they're going to kill. And I'll tell you something, the poorer people in society will be the people that will suffer more than anything. Because we are in for food inflation and we are in for food shortages, and it will hit the poorer people where they won't be able to afford good food, nutritious food that's produced in this country in the best way. We're the only industry left in this country. Only industry. You know, the coal's gone, the steel's gone, everything's gone due to governments. Please protect the farmers, because you're going to need us once, twice or 3 times every day.
And especially as we've learnt with lockdown and we've learnt with Ukraine war and everywhere, how there's a wonderful interconnected international world and trade. It can be gone by the click of a fingers, and you need to rely on local produce. But I was amazed to discover, and again, something you would know completely, but so many of us, you know, we just go to the supermarket, it's got the cellophane on it, we don't have to think about it. But more than half of the food we buy in our supermarkets in this country, and we eat in our restaurants and pubs or whatever, comes from British farmers, and that's the crucial thing. And we know very high standards as well. But this is the thing. Do you think that the people in charge, people like they're townies like me, do you think they really understand, you know, the route from the ground to the plate?
Yeah, they will never. No, they will never understand until they go hungry, and that's the sad reality of the situation.
So is that the next stage? Bringing tractors to Westminster is one thing.
No, we don't want it. Listen, no, you've got to listen for 2 seconds. You've got to understand, okay? We don't want people to go hungry. We want people to have affordable food, but we can't do it if you keep throwing these government policies against us. And the poorer people in society are going to suffer, and there's going to be food shortages. It's a fact. There is no way our industry can take another 20% hit on what we're doing without putting it somewhere. And what do? We produce food. So that 20% will go onto the food, or we go bankrupt. So back British agriculture, get behind food security in the UK, and this government wants to wake up and stop biting the hand that feeds them. I'm telling you, it is going to bite them in the backside very, very soon. Yeah, well, we can hear those tooting horns from those tractors behind you. The key thing is, I mean, this inheritance tax thing is particularly an issue because so many farmers in our country are actually, you know, approaching retirement. We're talking about people, I think on average, farmers are in their 60s, you know, back-breaking work, worked all their lives, wanting to hand it on to their children and being advised tax-wise, this is how you do it, you know, you're not eligible for inheritance tax if you hand it on in this way. There are easy ways of the government raising this money elsewhere without impacting family farms. But if they don't change their ways, if they don't change this law, what is the actual impact going to be on, say, like your farm, the other protesters there? Are you just going to have to sell up? Who's going to buy the farms? What's going to happen to that land? The lunacy of this is they're going to raise about 530 million, OK? Which is small change in government terms. Yeah, but they're giving away 560 or 580 million to other countries to produce sustainable food to come against the people that they should be protecting. Charity starts at home, and this country should be thinking about the people that are, you know, producing the food and feeding them. Because if you're going to be throwing that money across the water, we don't know where it's going, into administration, who's using it, what countries are developing it. You know, yes, we need to protect people, but we need to protect the people in our country first. So please support British agriculture. Backers, I just can't hear anything. It's fantastic. No, look, they're showing their support. Well, let's hope... Sorry. That is absolutely fine. And let's hope the MPs are going to be listening as they gather for PMQs today. Great to speak to you again. Gareth Wyn Jones there in a very loud protest. You'll see if you're watching on our YouTube page, you moved away from the, you know, a bit away from the protest. We've got the tractors in the distance. But, yeah, still getting the tooting of the support.